Hello and welcome to the Swamps. Today we're going to be doing a tarot reading on messages from the universe. This is a very special reading because this was requested by one of my viewers, and I just want to say that I am open for requests. So if you have a question that you want me to ask the tarot, just leave a comment. If I'm vibing with it, I will do a video on it. Let's get started. This is pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3. All right, guys, let's go. Hello, pile number 1. This is your tarot reading for messages from the universe. Before we get started, I would just like to remind my viewers that I am currently taking requests for tarot videos. So if you have a question you want me to ask the tarot, just leave a comment, and if I'm vibing with it, I'll do a video on it. All right, so you chose the honey quartz. I always want to say that it's not honey quartz, it's honey calcite. I'm so sorry. For some reason, I always want to call it honey quartz, but it is honey calcite. We're going to get into your oracle cards first and then your tarot, as we usually do. So let's get started. Your first oracle card is Loosen Your Grip. Coping mechanisms, destiny, addiction, let God in. Your next oracle card is Amazonite with Loosen Your Grip. Your next oracle card is Trust with Basil and Scorpio and the number 21. Your next oracle card is Believe in the Impossible with Blue Moon. And your last oracle card is Communication with the number 33. Okay, so for this group, I feel as though this group is trying to manifest something. And the universe is trying to tell you, let me rephrase that. This group is trying to manifest something, and you have a particular idea of how this is going to happen. You have a particular idea of how this is going to happen, and the universe is just not vibing with that, to be honest with you. It wants you to trust, like the universe is saying, like, trust me on this. Loosen your grip on the outcome. Believe that the impossible can happen and try to change the way that you're speaking this into existence with communication coming out. And so, like, what I feel like this group is doing, you might be trying to manifest something in your life. I don't know what that is. It could be anything. But I'm going to use an example because you can see my table here, and I'm going to use my table as an example. So let's say you're trying to manifest a crystal into your life, a physical crystal. You don't necessarily say, I want so and such crystal. You just say, I want a crystal. But when you imagine what crystal you get, you imagine black obsidian, like that black obsidian spear over there. But the universe is saying, well, this honey calcite is so much closer to you. It's so much closer to you, and it's going to be so much easier to get to you. And there's some properties in this honey calcite that are going to be more helpful to you. So you envisioning an actual expectation is actually almost like a blockage for this manifestation that you're trying to make here. So you need to loosen your grip on this outcome that you're expecting. You need to trust that the universe is going to bring you what you need. Whatever this manifestation is. It could be, for some of you, it could be you're manifesting a relationship into your life and you're expecting a specific person to come into your life, but the relationship that you're manifesting, like the actual details of the relationship, how you want this person to act towards you, maybe the person that you're expecting that from will not provide that. So the universe is trying to say, well, let go of your vision of that person in your life. Loosen your grip on that, because there's somebody that will treat you the way that you want that you might not even know exists. With the communication coming out, I feel like this is almost like asking you to focus on how you're speaking this into existence. I'm a big believer in that. I'm a big believer in speaking things into existence because you're like actually physically putting the idea out into the universe. So I feel as though you're almost being asked to trust simplicity here. Trust being a little bit more simple with this manifestation. Don't try to complicate it further, because it's going to just make it harder for the universe to get it to you. I feel as though this is, you do need to believe that it's possible because you don't want to completely block this manifestation from happening. But at the same time, you just need to understand that, with manifesting, you can't specifically expect a certain outcome. I mean, it's good to set intentions and it's good to have an idea of what you want, but you don't want to have a specific outcome in mind, because that opens the door for, disappointment. That opens the door for disappointment, and you just don't want that right now. It's just not worth the disappointment. I do think that the manifestation is coming through, but there's just a blockage here, and that blockage is completely you having this expectation. So I want to just quickly say there are two types of people that have trouble with manifesting. There's the first type of person, which this isn't you, is somebody who just says, well, I want this and I'm going to get it, and then they leave it at that. Sometimes that works, but they don't actually try to look for the opportunities that the universe is bringing them, and therefore they don't manifest it because they miss the opportunity to manifest it. And then there's this second person, which I think you fall under, which is somebody who's trying so hard to manifest, they won't stop thinking about it, they won't stop talking about it, and they won't stop, expecting a certain outcome. And the unfortunate thing with that is that, both of these groups are doing their part to try and manifest. Like, technically what they're doing is right. Both of them are doing something that's right, but they're doing it in excess. So essentially what you do need to do is you need to focus on it, but you need to let it go, loosen your grip on it. But you also need to cut out any expectations that you may have. So it's a very difficult thing to do. Some people are just naturally good at it. They just speak into existence what they want, and they leave it simple enough so that the universe can bring it to them. Because, maybe my first example wasn't great, because if you say, bring me a crystal, then, you'll get a crystal. It just doesn't, you just don't know which one you're going to get. So I feel like that's sort of what's happening with this group. You need to cut off expectations for this manifestation, but also believe that it will come in, which can be very difficult. Let's get into your tarot. And I am not surprised you have the Strength card coming out, which sort of goes back to what I'm saying. This is a difficult task to do. I don't know what it is that you're trying to manifest. For some of you, I do feel like this could be a bigger manifestation, which is why this is going to be so hard to do. Because I've tried to manifest big things before, and it can be pretty difficult in the sense that, it's very easy to get obsessive, which is, I think, what your problem is here with your loosen your grip coming out twice. I feel as though this is something for you. You almost need to take a note from the other end of the spectrum that has trouble with manifesting which is, let it go a little bit more. Let it go into the universe. I feel like that's again why this communication card is coming out. It's just, you need to loosen your grip. You need to let out the words to speak into existence your manifestation. But again, you don't want to do this too often, and you don't want to do this with too many expectations either. Let's see your next tarot card, which is, I normally do not read cards in reverse, but this is how it came out. This is the Emperor in reverse. So I feel as though with the Emperor in reverse coming out, as well as with the Strength coming out, this is a message to lower your expectations or just get rid of expectations completely, like I've been saying. This is really about not having exact expectations for how this manifestation is going to come through, because I'm not saying that the universe works in what's convenient, but it almost is like the universe works in a way where it all works out. And so what's closer to you, I'm just using this crystal as an example again. Let's say I just need calcite for whatever's going on in my life. I want the obsidian because I don't know, maybe I think the obsidian is cool. But the universe is saying, well, this is closer to you because I made it closer to you. And on top of that, you need it. So we're going to bring you over this calcite. So essentially, you might not be expecting what you need. And I feel as though you need to loosen your grip on that. You need to loosen your grip on the idea that you know what you need in this situation, because sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes we don't know exactly what we need. Sometimes it's nice to have an outward perspective or somebody, like a third party perspective even. And I feel like that's what the universe is doing for you here. And you need to trust it. It's asking for you to trust the universe on this one. with this eye coming out, I'm almost focusing on this eye in this picture. There is something that you aren't seeing, that the universe is seeing, that it is trying to help you with. And I feel like that's sort of what's causing some of the confusion here, you know, especially if you feel like you haven't had this manifestation come through yet. What I'm here to tell you is that it is coming through. It's just in ways that you don't expect. So try to be more open to other outcomes for this manifestation that you're having. Let's pull some charms. All right. Yeah, this is okay. Totally. You're not expecting what's coming up here. With this moon coming out and this seahorse coming out, there's something unexpected that's going to happen here. And, you know, it's for the best is what I just heard. So don't be, you know, don't be like too worried when I say that. Don't be too anxious about that, because honestly, I truly believe this is in your best interest, whatever is coming your way. Now let's see what we have here. We have this little tree branch with leaves on it, and we have this apple. And I fully believe that you're going to grow from whatever this is, in the sense that you're going to, and with this apple coming out, you're going to learn from this particular experience with manifesting. I feel like whoever chose this group, you're going to be like a little bit more aware of how to manifest next time you want to manifest something. And then we have the peace sign coming out, which for me, again, sort of confirms what I've been saying. Like, this is all in your best interest. It might not seem like it, because, you know, it's really important in spirituality and with manifestation particularly to not have an expected outcome. That's just the main thing that you need to know when you are manifesting, because it's like I said, it's like you might expect something, but the universe has a different plan. And that's sort of what's just coming out here with this group. So I'm going to do one last thing before we go, which is I'm going to shuffle up some meditation cards and give you some advice on how to meditate through this situation, or, you know, just how to meditate, I guess. This is just some advice from the universe on how to meditate, essentially. It could relate to this, it could not, but this card wants to come out. And we have self-massage. With your right arm, reach over across your chest and your neck to your neck. Slowly knead the muscles around your shoulder. Use your thumbs and make a small circles using medium pressure. Repeat this on the other shoulder. So yeah, I feel like this group is really tense with this manifestation here. This is, again, going back to the loosen your grip. You guys need to relax, release this energy, and then don't have any expectations on how it's going to come back to you. And that's all I'm really getting for this group. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Hello, pile number 2. This is your tarot reading for messages from the universe. Before we get started, I would just like to say I am currently taking requests for videos. So if you have a question you want me to ask the tarot, just leave a comment, and if I'm vibing with it, I'll do a video on it. Anyway, let's get started on your reading. You chose the Dragon's Blood Stone. I think it's a really cool stone. It's great for grounding. I mean, you can totally see it's just grounding colors. Let's get started. I'm going to do your oracles first and then your tarot. Your first oracle is We the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. Your next oracle card is Luck with Lime and Virgo and the number 31. Your next oracle card is Adventuring with Create Your Own Luck. Wow. Your next card is Prosperity Lies Ahead, New Moon in Taurus. And your last oracle card is Happy Ending with the number 93. Okay, very interesting, very uplifting so far. With this group, I feel as though for some of you, you may have started a family recently, or you're in the process of starting a family, or that could just be symbolic of what I'm talking about here. There's a big project that you've started recently, and to be honest with you, what I'm getting with this reading is that the universe is telling me here that you have good karma, essentially. You have really good karma. And because of this, you have created your own luck, and you have a lot of luck ahead of you. So what comes to mind with this group, to be honest, is the Wheel card. And the reason I say that is because it's like the wheel turns, okay? And you were at the bottom with whatever that means, okay? And now you're going to be at the top soon. And I feel like that's with luck. You might have even had bad luck recently. And that's going to turn around is what I'm hearing. It sounds kind of weird, but that's like how you created your own luck. Like by having bad luck, you've created this vacuum that's sucking in good luck. And that's what's coming up here for you. I feel that could involve the family too, for whoever that resonated with. Maybe it's been a really busy time with the family. It's been a little intense is what I just heard. And, maybe that's going to slow down soon. And maybe that's that luck that's coming in. Like maybe you'll feel a lot more lucky in the sense that things are slowing down. It's not going to be as hectic. And, maybe you'll even be able to get some rest is what I just heard. I feel like I had a reading similar to that at one point, but with Prosperity Lies Ahead, I truly believe that you have created for yourself through focus, potentially hard work with the Taurus, with Taurus coming out. I feel as though you are bringing to fruition something that's been long in the making here. I just heard you're sitting pretty. My mom's been saying that a lot lately, but I heard it just now randomly. And it makes me think that you have created this for yourself, especially with this Adventuring Create Your Own Luck coming out. I feel as though you're like creating a happy ending for yourself. And I feel like that's sort of why I originally see like a family unit here. You might not be. It could definitely be like a project or something that a family unit could symbolize. But this is definitely like hard work paying off is sort of what I'm getting here, either through good karma or just actually literally working hard, or you just maybe, or this is sort of a weird one that I've been noticing in my life, so maybe you have too. I've been just, every bad day is almost like there's a good day that follows, kind of. Maybe not exactly right after, but like maybe the next week I'll have like a really good day to combat the really bad day I had the week before. And that's why I brought up the wheel. It's like, you might have had some really bad luck recently, and because of that, you're going to be bringing in good luck. Weirdly, it's almost like the thing about karma is that in Western culture, we view it in a way that is not as authentic in Eastern culture. In Eastern culture, karma is viewed more like cause and effect, rather than like a justice system. And that's sort of what has happened here for you. It's like you made room in your life for good luck to come in. And that's what I see happening for this group. Let's see what your tarot has to say. So we have the Eight of Pentacles coming out. I mentioned focus earlier and hard work, and that is what that card is completely all about. So like I said, this could have been even just taking a beating with having some bad luck in your life, or it could be that you're actually working really hard, whether it was in a past life, the current life, you worked really hard to have what this luck is here, and it's coming to you soon. I mean, this is a pretty uplifting reading, if I'm honest. Let's see your next card. And then we have the Four of Wands. And when I saw this card, I thought of that phrase again, you're sitting pretty, because that's what this little turtle guy is doing. So for some of you, this really does go back to what I was saying about a family unit. I feel like for some of you, you have worked hard to have this familial unit, or worked hard to have this project, maybe with a bunch of people working on it with you. And this is like, you know, there's a happy ending approaching. Prosperity is approaching you. You have created your own luck by putting this work in the sense that you have opened the door for this relaxation. It's actually interesting. These two cards are actually like polar opposites. This guy's working his butt off and this guy's relaxing his butt off. So it feels like that's it almost does give wheel energy in the sense that like you worked and now you get to relax. I'm going to pull some charms. Wow, they all came out really jumbled. Yeah, we have a moon coming out, which makes me feel like you have been putting in a lot of hard work, and there's going to be like a resting period. And for some of you, you might consider that very lucky. I feel like this goes with the Eight of Pentacles, oddly, in the sense that it like there's a lot of focus and just like hard work. I feel like it like, maybe this sounds silly, but I feel like it's hard work for a plant to grow. For some reason, I feel like this represents the oncoming luck that's coming your way. I don't know why, but it just does for me. And for some reason, this charm for me just means this now. This was like a long time coming for you. Oh, and we have one more charm that I almost forgot, which is this peace sign, which I feel like, again, goes with this card. He's totally at peace, and I feel like that's where you're going to be at soon. So last thing is I'm going to pull a meditation card for you for just advice from the universe on how to meditate, whether it be on this or something else. This is just some advice from the universe on how to meditate. All right, this one wants to come out. And we have music. Music can transport you back to a time in your life. The way that these cards are is so weird with this. It's throwing me off with reading it, so bear with me here. Music can transport you back to a time in your life. Reflect on a song or a series of songs from years ago that stirs up happy memories. Close your eyes and listen to those songs and let those happy memories return to you. So with this card coming out, some of you might be clairaudience. But it also could just be, you know, a time to celebrate whatever's going on here. I feel like that's sort of what's happening here is you're going to have a time to celebrate. You're going to be putting the music on. You're going to be dancing. This is a really positive, uplifting reading. And I just want you to know that, like, the universe is basically telling you here that some good stuff is coming your way. So that's all I'm really getting from this group. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your tarot reading for what messages the universe has for you. Before we get started, I would just like to say that I am currently open for requests on this channel. So if you have a question you want me to ask the tarot, just leave a comment. If I'm vibing with the question, I'll do a video on it. So let's get started. You guys chose the Black Obsidian, which right off the bat makes me feel like you either need to protect yourself or you've been very protective of yourself. But let's get into your oracle cards first and then your tarot, as I usually do. All right. Your first oracle card is Portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Your next oracle card is Trust Your Intuition. Your next oracle card is Tranquility with Violets and Pisces and the number 43. Your next tarot card is Conclusions Are Within Reach, Full Moon Eclipse. And your last oracle card is Forgiveness. Interesting. So I feel like for this group, there's going to be a change in your mindset. I feel as though I've been getting this message a lot with my readings, so this might resonate with some of you. I feel as though the way that you're going to be talking to yourself is going to change here, and I feel as though there's like an amount of forgiveness that you're going to have for yourself. I feel like some of you really hold your own past against yourself, and this might be why this crystal was chosen for this group. You need to be honest with you need to protect yourself against yourself, which sounds kind of silly, but it's true. Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes we could be so much harder on ourselves than we are other people. And if that's the case, if you find that you're having a hard time being nice to yourself, then you can always put in the effort to do better with that. It's not something that's permanent. Like, the way that you talk to yourself can totally be reprogrammed, is what I just heard. That word was an interesting choice, but it does make sense. In the sense that you're constantly having to remind yourself, like, hey, maybe that wasn't okay to say to myself. With Trust Your Intuition and Tranquility coming out, I feel as though some of you feel like you need some self-care days. I feel like this is a time for you. Like, you need to trust that instinct. If you feel like you are worn out, if you feel like something is wearing you out, take a step back from it. If you feel like someone or something is wearing you out, perhaps for some of you, this isn't even just you on your own. Maybe somebody in your life is making you feel a certain way about yourself, and it's making you talk to yourself a certain way. And if that's the case, if it's possible to leave this person and go to a different person or just not have anybody at all, then I highly suggest that you do that. Like, I highly suggest that you distance yourself from somebody who's making you feel negatively about yourself. And always forgive yourself for falling into any kind of mentality that somebody else put onto you, because I feel like that's a very easy thing that happens. Like, somebody will maybe be like, that's annoying, and now whenever you do that, whatever that is, alone, you'll start calling yourself annoying. And you have to just remember that that's that person. That's not you. You don't need to be their backup on that. Like, you just don't need that energy. With this portal coming out, I feel like this might be leaving something for some of you. And this is in your best interest. For some of you, this could be an intuitive feeling. Maybe it's this person's not outright saying nasty things to you, but they're doing this thing that I've seen people do before, where they like make backhanded compliments, or they, it's almost like an implied insult. And if that's the case, trust your intuition on that. Sometimes it takes a minute to realize someone has insulted us. And that's happened to me so many times. I will literally just like nod while they're saying something that's actually insulting, and then I will like return home and be really upset about it. And that's totally fine. And if anything, I feel like we do that because we are, going back to this thing, protecting ourselves. Because if we start conflict, it could just make it all worse. Let's get into your tarot. We have the Hanged Man. Yes, you're coming into a different perspective here. Perhaps subconsciously you've had this perspective for a while, with this intuition card coming out, but this is going to be like coming fully, with conclusions are within reach, and this intuition card, I feel like there's something that you have been suspecting for a minute that's going to be confirmed soon. I don't know what that is. I think it's going to be different for everybody. So whatever that is, there's going to be a new perspective reached because of that. Or like you're going to be more, for some of you, I heard that you're going to be relieved. Let's see what your next tarot card is. And then we have the Star. Interesting that I said that. So whatever this is, it might seem kind of icky right now, but you're going to heal from this. You're going to move on from this. And I think that's really beautiful. And it's very important for this group to remember to forgive themselves. Don't let whatever this person is saying get to you. And if you already have let whatever this person is saying or doing get to you, make sure that you forgive yourself for that. It's so easy to fall into these, like, I almost want to call them ego traps. I don't know if that's really a correct way to put it, but it's almost like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like, there's people that fall into ego traps where they're just so full of themselves. Well, there's another type of ego trap where you're like, you just, it's more like, what's the word I'm looking for? Where you're just like down on yourself. You just don't like yourself. Like, that to me is also an ego trap. You're almost like putting too much weight on negative things that you've done. and it's causing you to view the world in like a warped perspective. And I think that's why this Hangman is coming out. You're going to have a better perspective on whatever this is, on yourself, on the situation. And for some of you, you are definitely in tune with whatever that is, and you've been in tune with it. I feel like there's definitely going to be a relieving energy for whatever this is, and some of you are going to be leaving whatever this is too. So I'm going to pull some charms. Interesting. Oh, wow. I didn't get many charms for you, but both charms are a star, and we have the star card coming out. So with that being said, I feel like whatever the situation is, it's going to be an extremely healing situation. I feel like this is something that's going to be resolved, whatever it is. And for some of you, you're going to be like, your suspicions are going to be confirmed, as well as there's going to be a relief to whatever that is. So this is something that I'm doing for this readings that I've done for every group so far, but I'm going to be pulling meditation cards. So the meditation card may relate to this reading, or it may just be a suggestion from the universe on how to meditate. Take it however it resonates. This one kind of wants to come out. We have focus on breathing. For 2 minutes, clear your mind and inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take long, slow, deep breaths and exhale. All right, so that's like classic meditation, to be honest with you. I feel like that's pretty perfect for this group in the sense that you do need to, take some time out from whatever the situation is, forgive yourself, and maybe even meditate on forgiving yourself, to be honest with you, in the sense that this is, you're human. People make mistakes. People fall for ego traps. That's part of being human. And I feel like that's sort of what maybe has happened to this group. And again, it's not in like a negative way. It's not like you're full of yourself. I mean, it's not great to be in an ego trap, but it's not like you're full of yourself. It's almost like the opposite end of the spectrum, where you need to work on loving yourself a little bit more, which is really hard to do. And there's never an expectation for you to just love yourself after you're told that. So, but, always keep in mind to be gentle with yourself and to be forgiving for yourself is really what I'm getting for this group. So that's all I'm really getting. Thank you for watching this reading. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to support this channel, please subscribe. And once again, thank you. Hello again. I'm hoping that people watch the end of my videos, but I also don't expect it. I just want to reiterate that I am taking requests for videos. So if you have a question you want me to ask the tarot, just leave a comment. And if I'm vibing with it, I'll do a video on it. Also, I just want to say I might be going back to just doing 1 video a week, because I find doing 2 videos a week to make my readings a little like less, I don't want to say easy, but like they're not as clear as I would like them to be. That being said, I just feel like doing it once a week is better on my energy, to be honest. Maybe in the future I'll be able to do twice a week, but for right now we're just going to do once a week. And I just really appreciate that if that doesn't upset anybody. But yeah, thank you everyone who has subscribed to me. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe if you want to support this channel, and just have a wonderful day.